Are you still struggling to get CLB 9 and above in speaking test of CELPIP? Well, then this video is for you. My name is Tanushka. Welcome back to the channel. And today I will be explaining you how to get CLB 9 plus in CELPIP. Let's get into it. So, we will be talking about how to master CLB 10. I will be giving you all the details, examples, answers, how to boost your score. CELPIP speaking test format. So CELPIP speaking has 8 tasks, including giving this advice, describing scenes, and expressing your opinions. Key strategies. So we will be going through one simple strategy, which is to give your introduction, give the details, and conclusion. All 3 of them are highly important. We need to include all 3 of them. And speaking clearly, staying on the topic, avoiding any long pauses, going off topic, using simple vocabulary but making it effective, making it impressive. And if English is not your first language, I would recommend that you think in English, use connectors, stay confident. What I meant by think in English is sometimes what happens, we start thinking in our own, in our native language, and then we start translating it, which makes it worse for us. So start thinking in English and answering in English. Always have an imaginary person in your mind and name them. In CELPIP, you will be needed to talk to people. Like, you will be given questions in which you need to address someone. So let's say I have an imaginary friend named John. So whenever I get a question, let's say you have to talk to your friend about something. Now I don't have to think, oh, what should I name the friend? Okay, I'm gonna name my friend John. From the very beginning, I have a name John or Maggie or whatever you like it. Because we need to make it as realistic as possible to perform our best. Now, task 1 is giving advice. In this, you get 30 seconds to prepare and 90 seconds to answer. For example, you get a question like, your friend has been feeling stressed because of work and studies. Give advice on how they can manage their time better. See, there you go. So you need to name your friend now. Okay, my friend was who? John. Okay, so now I know that who I will addressing? John. It's in my head now. Okay, let's begin with the answer. Now, you can start the answer in multiple ways. Here, it's your friend, so you need to keep it informal. If this was some colleague or someone else, you would go for a formal approach. But here it's your friend. If it's your family, it's your friend, you go for an informal approach. So let's begin. This is just an exemplary answer. I have not included the whole answer in it. It's just to show you what you need to do exactly. Okay, so hey John, I'm really sorry to hear you've been feeling overwhelmed lately. I completely understand how challenging it can be to balance work and studies. First of all, I would recommend creating a structured weekly schedule so you can clearly see your priorities. For instance, you could dedicate specific hours for studying and keep short breaks in between to avoid burnout. Another helpful strategy would be setting realistic goals instead of trying to do everything at once. This will make your workload feel more manageable. Overall, if you stay consistent and take care of your well-being, I'm sure you'll start feeling less stressed and more in control. And you know where to find me if you need any more help. There you go. So answer like this. So I added my introduction, which was not my introduction, it was the introduction to the answer. So I started with saying hi to my friend, and I started mentioning that, oh, okay, they're feeling overwhelmed. Whatever is given in the question, I'm just putting the same thing, but reframing it. So they are feeling overwhelmed. I know this, and I'm going to address this. Okay, so I started with that. Now what I need to do in CELPIP, what's really important, that they will assess your answer based on the quality of your answer. So what kind of advice did you give? Did you give multiple points? Were you just wondering around one point? So if you would wondering, if you would be wondering around just one point, which is I would recommend creating a structured weekly schedule, you will get less points because you haven't addressed more than one things. So that's why here in this answer we have we talked about 3 different things that John can do in order to manage their work-life balance. Okay, so you need to add points in your answer. You need to add at least 3 points to make your answer effective one. And then what did we do? We did an overall conclusion. We did a conclusion. So in the conclusion, you can add things like, in conclusion, overall, connectors like these. They help you frame your sentence better. So make sure that you practice some of them. Let's get to task 2, which is personal experience. In this part, you will be asked to share a personal experience. Now, the question can be anything. You will get 30 seconds to prepare. You will get 60 seconds to speak. For example, talk about a time when you learned an important lesson. This can be anything. You can answer anything in this. So the answer I have here, one important lesson I learned was about the value of patience. A few years ago, I was working on a group project where one member wasn't contributing much and I felt frustrated. Initially, I wanted to handle everything myself, but then I realized that communicating openly would be more effective. After discussing the issue calmly, we managed to divide the task more fairly. By the end, I learned that teamwork and communication can solve most problems, and this lesson has helped me in both studies and professional life. Now, what we did in this answer is we answered what was the lesson, why I was in the situation to learn that lesson, how I addressed that situation, and what was the outcome of the lesson, like what was the outcome of the whole situation. For example, moral of the story. Okay, so you need to answer all these parts in order to get a full answer. So in personal experience, you share what the experience was, why you were in that situation, how you resolved that situation, and again at the end, what was the moral, what was the lesson that you learned. Now, this can be any question, but just remember when you're gonna be working on this task 2, make sure to address all these points. Moving forward with task 3, it will be describing a scene. You will get 30 seconds to prepare. You will get 60 seconds to speak. For example, now I have a picture right here, and the question will be, look at the picture of a busy park, describe what is happening. Or it will just say, look at the picture, describe what is happening. Now in this scenario, you need to understand what this question exactly is. So they will give you a picture and they will ask you to describe it. Now who are you describing it to? You're just gonna think that there is someone over the phone, let's say, or there's someone who cannot practically see this picture right now, and you need to tell them what is going on. It's as simple as it is. So let's say the answer here would be, in the foreground, I can see a group of children playing near a fountain, and they seem excited and energetic. In the background, several adults are sitting on benches, possibly relaxing or watching the kids. On the left side, there appears to be a small cafe where people are ordering drink, while on the right, a couple is walking their dog along a pathway. Overall, the atmosphere looks lively, cheerful, suggesting it might be a pleasant weekend afternoon. Now, what were the key pointers in this answer? We used things like in the foreground, in the background, on the left side of the picture. So why we need those? Because the person you're describing it to, they don't know what's going on, right? They can't see the picture. So you need to tell them what is placed where. And by doing this, you get extra points, you get marks for adding these pointers. So again, we started with what's happening in front of the picture, what's happening in the background. You address the main things, and then you try, if you still have time, you explain what are the people doing or what else is going on in that picture. It's very simple. You just need to practice it a lot. Now, our task 4 will be making prediction. You will get the same picture again, and again you will get 30 seconds to prepare. You will get 60 seconds to speak. Now, in this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next? You will get the picture and you need to make a prediction now. Now, the prediction needs to be for near future. Let's say 10 to 15 minutes max. So what can happen in next 10 to 15 minutes? You need to describe that. Let's begin. So based on what I can see, the children will probably continue playing and splashing water because they look very excited and engaged. Again, the same thing. We're just thinking to make it a future, to make it into the future. It's likely that they might get better and start laughing even more as they enjoy the activity. In the background, the couple walking their dog may stop for a moment to watch the kids, especially since the atmosphere seems cheerful and relaxing. The people sitting at the cafe will likely continue their conversation and enjoy the pleasant weather. Eventually, I think the children parent might call them over, perhaps to dry off or to get a snack, which would bring this playful moment to the end. So I think by this time you're understanding what I'm trying to say is that you just need to answer in a way that you're telling what can happen in next 15 minutes. It's simple. You just need to expand things a little and add feelings in there so that you have more leverage over the time. You can so that you can easily frame a good answer. Okay, that's task 4. Moving on to task 5th, which is comparing and persuading. You get 60 seconds to prepare on this task and you get 60 seconds to speak on this task. Let's begin. So I have not added an answer in this because this can be anything. They can give you anything and the answer is based on that. If you need, you can surely comment and I can give you a sample answer, but let me explain this to you. So in the part 1 of task 5th, what they will give you 2 choices. Let's say here it's hiking and biking. They gave you 2 choices and now they want you to choose one of them. So your supervisor has asked for your opinion on what type of activity you think your colleagues would like for a company sport day. You found 2 suitable options using the picture information below. Choose the option that you prefer. In the next section, they will provide you with something that your colleagues chose. So let's say you chose biking in this. You have to read all the points and you chose biking from it. In the next part, they will tell you that your colleague chose beach volleyball. Now you have to persuade your colleagues into biking. That's what it actually means. So you're simply gonna ask your colleagues to go biking instead of beach volleyball. Now how you can answer this question is you have to go through all the points of biking and volleyball, explaining why biking is a better option. So that's type of question you're gonna get in task 5th, which is comparing and persuading. Moving on to task 6th, it's a difficult situation. So they will give you a question which is kind of a difficult question and you have to answer based on it. So you will get 60 seconds to prepare, 60 seconds to speak. Example: Your partner and his friends are hanging out with you. You all want to go watch a comedy movie in the cinema, but your partner prefers a horror movie. So now, either you convince your partner to watch a comedy movie with you, or you convince your friends to go watch a horror movie with your partner. So now you're a bit of a trouble because you're stuck between your friends and your partner and you need to choose something. So let's say the answer here is, hey, I completely understand that you enjoy horror movies. Now here, because you're talking to your partner, you can add things like, honey, hey honey, I completely understand you enjoy watching horror movies. They can be really thrilling. However, tonight all of us plan to watch a comedy movie together, and it would mean a lot if you joined us. One reason is that comedy is more lighthearted in addition to. So I'm not gonna read it because I don't want the video to go long. I will, if you need this PDF, you can comment me and I can share it with you. What we are doing here is we're gonna ask the partner to go watch a comedy movie with you, and you will explain why comedy is better than horror for tonight. Okay? That's the task 6. Moving on to task 7, which is expressing your opinion. Now, this is gonna be a tricky but good question. You will get 30 seconds to prepare, you will get 90 seconds to speak. When I did my CELPIP, the question I got was, should the government make daycare free or no? So again, you have to choose one thing and you have to answer in the favor of that. So here the question is, do you think companies should allow employees to work remotely? It can be good, it cannot be good. So you answer, in my opinion, companies should definitely continue offering remote work. Firstly, it allows employee to maintain a better work-life balance. Secondly, many studies have shown that remote workers are often more productive. Blah blah blah. You need to prove why. Then, conclusion. To sum up, remote work benefits both employee and organization. Now here you can add why in-person work can not be as good as remote work, right? So we mentioned because remote workers are more productive. So that's one pointer. So you can use things like firstly, secondly to sum up, to frame your answer. Those things are highly important in CELPIP. To get a band above CLB 9, you need to frame your answer. Your answer should be structured. Now moving on to task 8, which is unusual situation. Here, this is an unpredictable part of CELPIP. You can get anything in this question, but usually it's something bizarre. So let's say you got a picture and you're in a furniture store, you got this picture and you need to call someone and explain this to them. Why? Because the furniture lady is not letting you take a picture. So you need to explain to a family member what you are seeing actually. So the answer here would be, hey mom, you won't believe what I just saw. There's a table made entirely like a watermelon, and it even has legs made out of bananas. Beside the table, someone placed a wooden chair, which makes the whole thing look quite bizarre and funny. At first, I couldn't stop laughing because it was so unusual. From what I can tell, it seems like someone created it for a prank. Blah blah blah. Overall, it's definitely one of the strangest thing ever seen. Blah blah blah. What do you think? Should I go for it? Answer, you need to frame your answer like that. Who you are calling? Your family member. Okay, your mother. So you're introducing the answer by, hey mom, where you are, you're in a furniture store. Frame your answer. Framing your answer is really important. These are the few things that I mentioned in the very beginning, that you need introduction, details and conclusion to everything that you have to say in CELPIP. Okay, those are the 8 tasks. The speaking scoring chart is based on content coherence, vocabulary, listenability, are you clear or not, and your task fulfillment. Task fulfillment is what I meant by adding pointers, what I meant by adding details to your answers. I will add the link of the official chart, official scoring chart in the description, so you can go ahead and check. I hope this video helped you guys. So if you like it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends who are preparing for CELPIP. I will be bringing in more videos that can help you guys in the preparation. Bye bye.